Thanks, Eladio. Hope you can see my screen now. Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody who are connecting remotely with us. Thank you for joining in Drupal Camp Manila 2020. Before starting the session, I'll explain a little bit about myself. I am Hivanta Lekamge. I am based in Colombo, Sri Lanka. I am currently working as Associate Technical Lead at WSO2 Sri Lanka. I started my career about 9 years ago as core PHP developer. Later on, I worked with few PHP-related frameworks. Then I moved to Drupal, and now I'm working with Drupal for 5 years. And I am working on Drupal backend and also doing research and developments on Drupal. So today I'm going to presenting how to increase traffic to your Drupal sites. So what's the reason in this topic? Yeah, we know that developers like us, what we are doing is we are getting customer requirement and we are working on the customer requirement. We are making Drupal sites and Drupal systems and we are delivering our projects to our customers. But if we have some basic knowledge in how to do marketing to our Drupal sites and also uh, how to uh, get traffic to our sites systems, then we can add some additional value when we are working with the code, as well as we can let our customer know that you can do these things to get traffic to your website. So yeah, so you know that today Drupal is used for a lot of complex website and web system development. So when we consider about corporate websites and corporate web systems, now most of the time Drupal is used, right? So in corporate websites, most of the companies, they are using Drupal sites for their corporate website. So as an example, Drupal have inbuilt CMS, content management system. It's easier to manage company content by their corporate website admin. So next thing is government portals and government websites, also university portals, university website like things. In Drupal, Drupal is a very secure platform and also it's easy to log in. It's easier to manage user roles. So government website, government portals and universities would like to use Drupal sites and systems for their users. In resource directories, in it's easier to manage resources using Drupal backend. So the people who are using resource directories, they would like to use Drupal for their resource directories. Also, there is new trend now for the e-commerce. People would like to build their e-commerce website, e-commerce platforms using Drupal. The reason is Drupal is very scalable and also Drupal is SEO friendly platform. Why do you need to increase traffic to your system? So basically, our end goal is to having a website system is to get customers to business and to brand. So before getting the customers, you need to generate leads. Then you need to increase conversion. Then only get customer. So if you need to generate leads, you need to increase the. You need to get the web visits. Or if you need to increase the web visits, then you need to increase the traffic. So basic is, if you want more customers, you need to increase the traffic to a website or web system. So how can we increase the traffic? So there are two main things I'm going to discuss here. The first thing is how to increase traffic in using organical organically, and how to increase traffic using paid campaigns. So what is now in here, I am not talking a lot about how to do the paid campaigns and how to increase your traffic using paid campaigns. I am totally focusing on how to increase traffic in uh, organic ways. So what is this organic traffic? Basically, organic traffic is unpaid traffic. So if you are getting traffic from SEO or any backlinks or from referrals, then you can consider them as organic traffic. Yeah, let's move to next slide. So these are the ways we can increase the traffic. So now at the start of the session, I explained that I mentioned that Drupal is SEO friendly platform. So we can use the SEO friendliness of the Drupal to our system. So what you need to do is you need to optimize your Drupal website to become a SEO friendly. So if your website is SEO friendly, then you can get your traffic to your site or your system. Also, in there is no big things to do. There are some Drupal guidelines. There are some SEO guidelines you need to follow when you are when you are developing the Drupal site. So then you can easily get a SEO friendly Drupal output. So next thing is publish well organized content. So in the SEO, the content is really important. So the reason is the search engine bots, what they are doing is they are going through our website, they are reading our content, and they help us to rank our website system in the search engine results. So we need to follow SEO guidelines to help those search engine bots using, then we can have then we can build well organized content on our we can build well organized content. So I will explain those things one by one later with the more information. The next thing is links from external sources. Basically, in we are known this as external link building. So you want to make external links as much as you can. Then you can get good traffic to your website via these external sites. So I can explain more information, how to build the traffic, what are the strategies you need to use on upcoming slides. So the next thing is social media presence. You know that there are plenty of social media platforms today. So you can create your accounts, you can create pages and in there, and you can get some quality crowd to your websites. The next thing is the paid campaigns. Basically, what you need to do is you need to spend money on digital marketing, and you can earn web visitors to your Drupal website. So next thing is optimize the Drupal website to become a SEO friendly website, right? What is the SEO friendly website? If your Drupal website is following up SEO guidelines and SEO basics, then your website is SEO friendly website. So if your website is SEO friendly, you can get enough traffic to your website. Also, your website will be ranked on couple of results on search engines. So it's very important to have SEO friendly website, then only you can get some organic traffic to your websites. This is the features of Drupal website. I think there are a lot of things to do to become a SEO friendly websites. So, but I think with the time we can't discuss everything in here, but I will explain most important things. So later on you can do Google search, or you can read some ebook. Then you ebook and you can get how to do more on this. So let's follow up these 4 items in my session. The first thing is mobile friendliness. So according to our search engine's requirements, all our Drupal website should be mobile friendly. It means the user experience of the your Drupal website should be good in every devices. Every devices means small phones, then tablets, iPads, then our laptops, large size screens, and everywhere you should have good experience. How to get this experience? Technically, there are a few ways to create mobile friendly Drupal site. So you know that there is a free library called Bootstrap. You can use this Bootstrap free library to build your Drupal website. Then you can create a mobile friendly Drupal website. Sometimes some people don't like to use third party libraries in your systems. So what you need to do is you can use media queries, and based on media queries you can write on mobile platform, a mobile friendly platform, and you can complete your Drupal website on that. So now after making your Drupal site, we don't know whether our site is mobile friendly or not. For that, there are some tools. Even Google also providing some free tools. You can find those free tools, and you can check whether your web system is mobile friendly. If your website system is not mobile friendly, they are providing some suggestions. They are asking to do some changes. Then you can easily do those changes, and you can check whether your site is mobile friendly. So if your site is mobile friendly, yes, you can get good traffic from small size devices and middle size devices, large size devices, from everything. In today, when considering to mobile traffic, it's significantly going high. So I think in future, you are not future, in today, our website should be mobile friendly to attract good traffic and also attract our customers. The next thing is speed. So I think the as developers, now we need to think about lightweight Drupal sites, Drupal systems. The reason is the site should be loaded smoothly on every devices, even in a small size devices, middle size devices, in every devices. So if you have a good speed in your website, then you can earn traffic, you can generate traffic to your website. The next thing is the security. So your website should be secure, and also it should be HTTPS, right? Then then only you can get good traffic to your sites and your sites and systems. So you know that in search engines they are prioritized HTTPS websites now. So they are recommending people to use HTTPS website. So if you want to rank your website in first couple of results, yes, your website should be secured and it should be HTTPS. So when I talk about speed, I think I missed a few things to explain. So if you want to increase your website speed, there are few things to do. So you can easily follow up those things. So especially the caching is really important. So you need to cache your Drupal site. Sometimes you can use third party softwares, and you can install those third party softwares in your server, as well as you can use some Drupal modules, and you can install those Drupal modules in your Drupal site, and you can do the caching. Also, the next thing is minify your code. So after minifying the your code, you can reduce the number of lines. So if number of lines of the code is reducing, then you can increase your site speed. And also, so images. So we know that we need to think about the quality of the images. Yes, while we are thinking of the quality of the image, we can compress those images, and if you have a CDN, yes, you can host those compressed image in the CDN, and you can access those resources from page level, Drupal page level, or Drupal template level. Also, after doing the developments, please check whether if there are any unessential resources are linked from your template. If so, please handle them. If you don't want them, yes, you can remove it. Then browsers don't want to load unessential resources with your website. Next thing is bots. What is this bots? Search engine use these bots. Use this search engine use these bots to read our website and get information to search engine sites and to rank our website in their search engines. So what we need to do is we need to facilitate to these bots. It means we need to configure few things to in our website in our website level. Then bots can easily find our website and easily find our content. So the main thing is sitemap XML. So after developing the website, we know that we have a menu, and there are so many links. So with these links, we need to build the site architecture as an XML file, and we need to post this XML file in the root directory of your Drupal website. So sometimes we can use third-party tools for this, generating this XML. Or if your website is not a big one, then you can create sitemap XML by yourself. Also, we know that there are some resources and some files we don't want to index on search results. So in that kind of situation, there is a file called robot.txt. So we can add those files and those folders to this robot.txt file, and you can disallow them. Then search engine bots will not read this part, and this will not then bots will not rank those files and directories on the search engines. Also, sometimes we are deleting our Drupal pages. So after deleting page, although we delete the page, it will remain in the search engine. So search engine will make 404 errors as a result of those deletes. So what we need to do is, if you are deleting some page, just add a htaccess record and just redirect those pages to another new page. Then it's good. We can reduce the number of 404 errors. Then it will help us to get some traffic to our Drupal sites and systems. So when we consider about these features, so if you want to check the mobile friendliness, for the speed, security, and bots, there are some tools for check whether our website is doing good with these features. So as I told, for the mobile friendliness, there are some Google tools, and for the check the speed, yes, even for the check the speed, there are some Google provided tools. We can use them. Even for the security checks, yes, there are some tools. So you can use those tools, and you can check whether your Drupal website is doing good, and you can and you are getting the quality traffic to your site. The next thing is the well-organized content. So writing content is really important, because that what search engine bots reading this content. So our content should be organized properly. Then only search engine bots can easily read this content. There are few guidelines. It's easy. We need to follow these guidelines, and we can have a proper organized content. So let's go to first one, a Drupal page for a topic. Yeah, so we are creating Drupal pages. So it's great. We can have one topic for one page. So then easily bot can read this content and understand the topic and the content of that page. And also, if you have many topics to discuss in your website, yes, you can create many pages, and you can use one page for one topic for a one page. So the next thing is meta detail fields. You know that Drupal page level backend, there are some fields for the meta information, meta keywords, and meta description. So you can add few keywords by separating from comma to this meta keyword field, and also the summary. The summary you can summary of the page you can add it to a meta description of the website. So if you can explain at least few keywords in this meta description section, then yes, you can add some more value to this meta description section. So next thing is use of Drupal canonical URLs. What is this canonical URLs? So canonical URLs are used for prevent indexing the duplicate content. Yes, sometimes in the website there will be have duplicate content. If you have such duplicate content, you need to do what you need to do is you need to get the URL of the original content, and you can add that URL in the canonical URL field of the Drupal canonical URL field of the Drupal backend. So then search engine bots know that this is duplicated from the original content. The next one is header tags. So header tags, I know that you know that in HTML there are header tags from H1, H2, likewise to H6. So we need to use these header tags accordingly in your Drupal pages. So let's say you have let's say just like this. So you can use one H1 tag in your Drupal page. So you can use your Drupal your page topic for this H1 tag. So basically you want to wrap your topic of the page using these H1 tags. So let's say you have so many subtopics. So then you can create those subtopics under wrapping from the H2 tags. Likewise, what you want to do is you want to create some hierarchy from H1 to H6. Then search engine will consider you as you have organized content and you have used header tags accordingly. The next thing is meaningful URL alias. So your URL should be meaningful. Also, it's great if you can have these URLs which similar to your topic or your topic or title of the page. Then we can add some SEO value. So you can't use spaces in your URLs. The hyphen is recommended by Drupal, so you can use hyphens and you can create meaningful URLs. The next thing is mention the keyword at the start of the content and the end of the content. So we have defined some keywords in meta keywords field. So you want to use these keywords and you prepare content. So when preparing your content, it's great if you can have these keywords in the start of the content, just like in first 200 characters, if you can use these keywords, and also the latter part of the content. So the SEO specialist has introduced this methodology as very important to rank your website in search results. So please be mindful in the keywords and how to use these keywords with your Drupal page content. The next thing is image alt tags. So you know that the image alt tag is used for explain your images. So in some cases, due to network failures or due to browser issues, sometimes images are not loading. In that kind of situation, your website users can see these alt tags and they know that this image has been missed, but this is a description of the image. So this is seen as good SEO fact. Good SEO fact to good SEO fact when indexing your website in the first couple of search results. The next thing is link from external sources. So this is usually known as external link building. So you know that there are some websites, they have high SEO value, good traffic, and also good and high domain authority. So you also can check the domain authority of your website. There are some online tools. You need to put your domain name in there and you can check the domain authority. So if you can build backlinks from those high domain authority website, then you can have high traffic to your websites. And when you are selecting this high domain website, you need to think about the relevancy. If it is relevant to your business, your brand, then only you can get good quality traffic from those external links. So relevancy, that's very important when you are making external links to your website or system. The next thing is analyze competitor website link sources. So you know that a lot of businesses, a lot of websites having some competitors, or sometimes there are some people who are doing a similar business. So we can analyze their backlinks, right? There are some tools, you can use these tools and you can analyze those competitors and you can get their backlink sources, and you can see whether these backlink sources are relevant with you. So this is just like a special kind of way to find the backlinks. So if those sources are relevant to you, then you can reach those external websites and you can make links from there to your website. The next thing is the blogging. So you know that sometimes you can start a blog, or you can ask someone to start a blog. So anyway, what the end goal should be, generate traffic from this blogging. So if someone, or if you can write blogs by targeting your brand, your website, then you can get I think good traffic and also quality traffic using this blog post. So the next thing is social media presence. So you know that there are a lot of social media platforms now. You can create your accounts and you can create pages on those social media accounts, and you can get traffic from there. But if you are creating accounts or if you are creating pages on those social media accounts, you need to think about relevancy. So if the social media little bit relevant, social media audience is little bit relevant to you, yes, then you can create page and you can create account in there, and you need to be active to get traffic from there. At least you need to post, you need to share a few posts, or you need to create some posts time to time to time to time for getting the traffic. So basically this get social media present is not a Drupal thing. This is just like a generic thing. Yeah, but we can use those things with our Drupal website. So the next thing is the social media share option. So sometimes the people want to share your content to social media. So in that kind of situation, so it should be easy way to users to share your content to social media platforms. So sometimes the developers edit social media, share social media links at the end of the content or in some side of the content. Yeah, I think it has a big value. It's easier. So users to share your content to platforms, social media platforms. So after sharing this platform with the with the share with the share box, you have seen that some small content regarding that post and also image. So we can push this image and the content to social media platforms from our side. So for that, some social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, they are providing cards. So we need to set up these cards from our side, and we can push the content what we want to platforms. So as an example, I will tell you how to set up these fields from Drupal backend side. So you know that in a Drupal taxonomy fields, you can create taxonomy fields to these cards, and you can set up cards from Drupal backend, and you need to show these card information in your header section of the Drupal template. Then once someone share your content to social media platform, then that created Twitter, Facebook card information also push into these platforms. I think sometimes some people have using some attractive images, attractive content for with these Twitter cards, and it's good thing and it's important for getting social media traffic to your systems. So if you want to upload images and if you want to push them to Drupal pages, yes, you can create Drupal taxonomy fields, and you can push those images to social media. So if you're unable to create those taxonomy fields, I think there are some third-party Drupal modules. You can use these modules and you can install them in your Drupal site, and you can set up these Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn card. So after setting up everything, you don't know whether this Twitter card, Facebook cards, and LinkedIn cards are working properly. For that, each platform has provided some debugging tools. So you can add your page URL to this debugging tool and check whether you have already set up these images properly. The next thing is paid campaigns. So I am not going to explain much information on how to set up paid campaigns. How to set up paid campaigns, but let's discuss some basic things. I think then you can do a Google search, or you can read a PDF, and you can get idea from end to end how to do the paid campaigns. So if you want to do paid campaigns, the most important thing is you need to find the relevant platform for that. So this is in here you are spending your money on marketing. So the finding the relevant platform is really important. So when finding this platform, you need to think about your brand name and also your target audience. Then if everything is good, then you can create your digital strategy. And when you create the digital strategy, you need to analyze your customers, and you need to think how those customers are doing their digital strategies and digital marketing. Also, you want to again think about your brand and your website. So after setting up your digital strategy, you need to find a relevant target audience. For finding this relevant target audience, you need to find the relevant platform first. So after finding the relevant platform, then you can find a relevant target audience. Then you can create this target audience in the selected platform. So now you are ready to execute your campaign. So before executing the campaign, you want to know the best day of the week and the best time of the day for running the campaign. So some people, what they are doing is they are running some test campaign using low budget and do some research, and they are finding best time to run these Drupal, these paid campaigns. So I think the best thing is those are some basic, very basic things. So as I told you before, so go through some articles and get more information about the paid campaigns. Now, now we have already set up everything for getting the traffic to your Drupal website. So after setting up everything, we need to check whether we have set up everything correctly. For that, we need to have some stat collection plan. So for that, you know that there are some free tools. Even Google also providing some free tools. You can use these free tools and you can collect stats of your Drupal site or system. And after selecting these information, these stats, you need to analyze those data. So the purpose of the analyzing data is basically you want to take decisions, and if you want to do the changes to your website, yes, you want to do them. So, and also you want to forecasting what are the things you need to do in the future, likewise. So basically you need to analyze data. So for that, there are some free tools and there are some paid tools. So you can use those tools. I think if you are after Googling, you can easily find those tools. Also, then there are some Drupal modules, third-party modules. So you can install them in your site, and if you want, you can do the analyzing part in the site itself. So basically if everything is good, you can collect your stats properly, and you can analyze them, and you can make decisions, and you can forecasting about your Drupal website and about your brand. So I think it's almost done. So if you have any questions, yes, you can ask those questions now, or if you want to email me, and if you want to ask questions, yes, you can do it. My email address is evant@wso2.com. Yes, you can send emails with email, and my medium, so medium.com/@evanta. So you can subscribe to my Medium channel. So my LinkedIn is here, and my Twitter card also here, twitter.com/evantalekamge. Yeah, if you have any questions, yes, reach me.
Thank you, Ivanta. For anyone who would have some questions, you have time, please write them down in chat or feel free to ask them yourself. Okay, going once, going twice. Okay, if there are no questions, thank you very much again, Ivanta.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So our next session will be 2 p.m. Oh, we have a question after. So we still have time. I have a question here, Iwanta. Is there any tools that we use to measure how are we doing in traffic? Coming from
Yeah, I think yeah, we can. There are some traffic. Yes, basically, in the stat collection process, you can easily find how to easily easily find the traffic to your system. Basically, I think you know that Google Analytics is a best thing to use for the collecting stats. Even in the Google Analytics, you can see how many traffics you are getting to your Drupal site daily, weekly, or whatever.
okay. Any other questions? Thanks for that. Volts. Mhm. Okay. So I'll stop the recording now.